Hello everyone, my name is Chayan. We're here to cover session one of unit CHCMHS003, provide recovery oriented mental health services. Recovery oriented mental health services are at the heart of modern care practice. So in this unit, we're going to explore how to empower individuals, respect their journey towards recovery, and provide services that are person-centered and also collaborative. During the recorded session, I'll introduce the concepts of recovery and mental health, discuss its core principles, and look at how we can apply these in our work to support individuals effectively. Of course, this will be done within the two sessions for this unit. Whether you're new to this field or looking to deepen your skills, this unit will give you a practical insight and tools. So before we continue, so by the end of this week, you'll get the copy of this session, which is the pre-recording session, and also the recordings of the live session that will be done on Thursday, where we'll be covering core topics of this unit and also the assessments involved in this unit as well. I'll try to cover as much as I can. When you get the email of the recordings, you'll also get links of videos that are part of this unit. I highly encourage that you guys watch them video links, as it will further enhance your understanding of the topic in hand, which is recovery-oriented mental health services. But if you need any more assistance about the topic or assessments during the 2 weeks, you can, of course, get in touch with me or Etzela. Before we start, I just want to recognize the traditional owners of the land. In the spirit of reconciliation, Hattah Institute of Education acknowledges the traditional owners, the custodians of country throughout Australia, and the connections to land, sea, and community. We recognise Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people as the first inhabitants of these nations and the traditional custodians of the land on which we work, live, and study. We express our gratitude for the sharing of this land, our sorrow for the personal, spiritual, and cultural cost of that sharing, and hope that we may move forward together in harmony and the spirit of healing. We pay our respects to all First Nations people and acknowledge elders past, present, and emerging. Okay, so let's take a moment to go through overview of today's session. We're covering three key areas, which are sharing information, collecting information, and informing the recovery plan. Now, we'll explore the importance of open and transparent communication and recovery-oriented practices. Sharing information effectively ensures that individuals feel empowered and are active participants in their recovery journey. Understanding a person's needs, experiences, and goals is central to providing tailored support. We'll discuss best practices for gathering meaningful information through active listening, observations, and also collaboration. Finally, we'll look at how to use the information collected to collaboratively develop and inform a recovery plan. So this includes setting achievable goals and ensuring the plan aligns with individual strengths, practices, preferences, and aspirations. These steps are interconnected, and together they form the foundation of effective recovery-oriented mental health services. So throughout this session, I'll encourage you guys to reflect on how these concepts apply to your current or future roles. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask them in the live sessions as well. Now let's look at one of the foundational aspects of recovery-oriented mental health services, working in a respectful way. Respect is essential when engaging with individuals in mental health recovery. It fosters trust, enhances communication and support meaningfully in relationships. Um, Here I want to highlight four key elements of working respectfully: supporting, demonstrating, collaboration, organization. So when it comes to supporting, providing consistent emotional and practical support is central to the recovery. This means listening without judgment, validating experiences, and encouraging individuals to take an active role in their recovery journey. Next is demonstrating. So respect is not just what we say, but how we do it. So demonstrating respect involves modeling behavior such as empathy, patience, and understanding in every interaction. Then collaboration. Recovery is a partnership. Collaborating with individuals ensure that their voice is heard and their choices are prioritized. This involves working alongside them to develop plans that reflect their goals and their strengths. Finally, organization. So respect also means being prepared and organized in your approach. This includes having clear communication settings, setting appropriate boundaries, and delivering services in a timely and also a reliable manner. By focusing on these elements, we can create a safe and supportive environment where individuals feel valued and empowered in their recovery process. An essential aspect of providing recovery-oriented mental health service is understanding and adhering to legal and ethical considerations. These guide our actions, ensuring that we deliver services in a safe, ethical, and professional manner. Now, here it highlights three key areas to focus on. The first one is WHS, workplace health and safety. So WHS laws ensures a safe environment for both the workers and clients. As professionals, we must assess risks, follow safety procedures, and address hazards promptly to minimize harm. In mental health services, this could include creating a safe physical environment and recognizing potential emotional or behavioral risks. Next is the rights and responsibilities. So we must uphold the rights of individuals while understanding our responsibilities as service providers. This involves respecting privacy and confidentiality, ensuring informed consent, and protecting individuals from harm. At the same time, clients have the right to be informed about their care and to participate actively in their recovery journey. Finally, work role boundaries. Maintaining clear professional boundaries is critical to ethical practice. This means understanding the scope of your role, knowing when to refer clients to other services, and avoiding conflicts of interests or dual relationships. Boundaries help foster trust and ensure that services remain focused on the client's needs. By keeping these legal and ethical considerations in mind, we can provide services that are not only effective, but also respectful, lawful, and aligned with best practice. When providing recovery-oriented mental health services, we must always consider the legal and ethical framework that guide our practice. These ensure we respect the rights and dignity of the individuals we support while adhering to our professional responsibilities. Some things to consider on your screen are, first one is duty of care. So as professionals, we have the legal obligation to act in the best interest of the clients that we support, ensuring that their safety and well-being is paramount. Duty of care requires us to take reasonable steps to prevent any harm while supporting individuals in their journey of recovery. Human rights. So every individual has the right to be treated with respect, fairness, and dignity. Recovery-oriented practice emphasizes the importance of holding these rights, ensuring individuals have a say in their care and that their voices are heard. Next is the dignity of risk. Supporting recovery means respecting individuals' rights to take risks as part of their personal growth. While ensuring safety, it is important to recognize that taking risks can be empowering and essential aspect of learning and recovery. And finally, discrimination. We must actively work to prevent and address any form of discrimination in any workplace. This includes ensuring that services are equitable and inclusive, respecting diversity, and challenging any stigma that is associated with mental health conditions. Um, Further to legal and ethical considerations in mental health services, as you can see on this slide, um, it is important to understand and follow the legal and ethical frameworks because they are the safeguard that uphold the rights and well-beings of individuals. Let's continue on uncovering important concepts when it comes to legal and ethical consideration. As you can see on the screen, informed consent. So informed consent ensures that individuals understand and agree to the service being provided to them. This involves clearly explaining the purpose, the benefits, and risk of any treatment or intervention. Consent must be voluntary, informed, and given by someone with capacity to decide. Let's move on to mandatory reporting. Now, as professionals, we are obligated to report situations where individuals, especially vulnerable groups like children, are at risk of harm. Mandatory reporting laws are in place to protect individuals from abuse or neglect and ensure timely intervention. Let's talk about privacy, confidentiality, and disclosure. Now, respecting privacy and maintaining confidentiality are foundational to building trust with individuals. However, there are circumstances where confidentiality may need to be breached, such as in cases of mandatory reporting or imminent risk of harm to self or other people. Always follow organizational policies and relevant legislation when disclosing information. Finally, records management. So accurate and secure management of records is very important for accountability and continuity of care. This includes maintaining clear, up-to-date, and confidential documentation while ensuring compliance with legal requirements for storage of data and access as well. Now, these considerations not only ensure legal compliance, but also build trust and create a safe environment for individuals to engage in their recovery journey. Mental illness. Now, mental illness is complex and multifaceted issue that impacts individuals in different ways. To provide effective support and services, it's important to understand the following key components that you can see on your screen. The first one is psychological condition. So mental illness are health conditions that affect a person's thinking, feeling, behavior, or mood. These conditions can impact daily living, relationships, and overall well-being. Examples include anxiety disorders, depression, schizophrenia, and bipolar disorder. Another one important key concept component is diagnosis. A mental health diagnosis is typically made by a qualified health professional based on observed symptoms, reported experiences, and sometimes diagnostic criteria from frameworks like the DSM-5, which is the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, or the ICD-10, which is the International Classification of Diseases. Diagnosis is the first step towards creating a tailored recovery plan for the client. Then we move on to assessment tools. Assessment tools are used to evaluate mental health conditions systematically. These tools may include questionnaires, interviews, and self-assessment scales, which will help professionals identify the severity and impact of symptoms. Finally, assessment instruments. Instruments refer to standardized and validated tools such as the Kessler Psychological Distress Scale, the K10, or the Depression, Anxiety, and Stress Scale, DASS. These provide measurable data to support diagnosis and inform treatment planning. By understanding these components, we can better support individuals by ensuring they receive appropriate assessment and care tailored to their unique needs. Further to mental health, um, to continue on with the previous slide, um, understanding mental health is essential for providing effective and supportive recovery oriented services, like we've discussed. Mental health refers to a person's emotional, psychological, and social well-being and can be influenced by various internal and external factors. Now, let's explore some of them key elements that shape mental health, as you can see on your screen. So the first one there is feelings. Mental health impacts how we process and express emotions, including happiness, sadness, anger, and anxiety. Recognizing and addressing these emotions is important for maintaining mental well-being. Next is self-worth. So how individuals perceive their value and confidence plays a significant role in mental health. Supporting positive self-worth through encouragement and validation can help build resilience and self-esteem. Then perception of others. So mental health can influence how individuals view and interact with others. This includes relationships, trusts, social connections, which are integral to emotional well-being. Finally, the ability to function. Mental health affects a person's ability to carry out daily activities, manage stress, and maintain focus. When mental health is compromised, these functions can be impaired, requiring support and interventions to help individuals regain balance. To truly understand mental health and illness today, it is important to recognize the historical context. The way society has understood and responded to mental illness has evolved drastically over time. Now, let's look at the three key aspects as you can see on the screen. Our understanding of mental illness has progressed or evolved from misconceptions and stigma to a more scientific and compassionate approach. In the past, mental illness was often misunderstood, leading to practices like institutionalization and inadequate treatment. Today, we recognize mental health as a legitimate health concern that requires evidence-based care and support. Modern mental health practices are more informed by advancements in science, psychology, and sociology. Research has provided us with a deeper understanding to mental illness by ways of the biological, psychological, and social factors that contribute to it. These insights have shaped the development of therapeutic approaches, the medication, and recovery-oriented practices. While progress has been made, the past continues to influence the present. Historical stigma surrounding mental illness still lingers in some communities, affecting how individuals seek help and how services are delivered. Recognizing this helps us address ongoing barriers and advocate for um, further addressing stigma and accessibility in mental health care. By understanding this history, we can better appreciate how we've come and how we are to continue to evolve in supporting individuals with mental health challenges. The field of mental health is continually evolving with a growing emphasis on consumer empowerment and recovery-oriented approaches. Now, let's take a closer look at the three key trends shaping the landscape. The first one there is recovery. So recovery-oriented practice emphasizes hope, self-determination, and meaningful engagement in life. It moves beyond simply managing symptoms to focus on individual strengths, goals, and aspirations. Now, this approach supports people in leading fulfilling lives despite the challenges of mental illness. Next is the consumer inspired. So, consumer inspired care focuses on incorporating the perspectives and experiences of those who lived with lived experience into service design and delivery. This involves actively seeking input from individuals to ensure services are relevant, responsive, and supportive of their unique recovery journey. Consumer-led initiatives go a step further by placing individuals with lived experience in leadership roles within the mental health system. This includes peer support programs, advisory boards, and advocacy efforts. These initiatives promote empowerment and help dismantle stigma by showing the value of lived experience in shaping policy and practice. In mental health services, different models of practice guide the way we support individuals and their recovery. Now, these models ensure our work is grounded in principles that are effective, person-centered, and respectful. Let's look at the three key models on the screen. The first one is recovery oriented. So this model places the individual at the center of the care, focusing on their strengths, goals, and aspirations. It's about enabling people to lead meaningful lives, recognizing their unique journey, and empowering them to take control of their recovery. This approach emphasizes hope, self-determination, and collaborative partnership. Evidence-based practice is grounded in research and proven methods. It ensures that the strategies and interventions we use are supported by data and best practice. This approach combines clinical experts with the latest research and incorporates the individual's preference to provide the most effective care. Values-based practice aligns with the core values of empathy, respect, and compassion. It ensures that care is culturally sensitive, inclusive, and consistent with the individual's personal values and beliefs. This model helps us build trust and delivers care that is ethical and person-centered. Together, these models create a comprehensive framework for mental health services, ensuring that individuals receive care that is meaningful, effective, and aligned with their needs. The recovery model is a person-centered approach that emphasizes hope, empowerment, and resilience, like I've discussed in the previous slide. It builds on the belief that recovery is possible for everyone and focuses on supporting individuals to live fulfilling lives. Now, let's explore its three key principles. The first one there is fostering hope and empowerment. So hope is the foundation of recovery. By fostering hope, we help individuals believe that a better future is possible. Empowerment involves encouraging people to take an active role in their recovery journey, making decisions about their care and building confidence in their ability. Next is can recover. So the recovery model is rooted in the idea that recovery is achievable. So this doesn't necessarily mean that a complete absence of symptoms, but instead living a meaningful and satisfying life despite the challenges. Recovery is unique to each individual and is about finding personal growth, purpose, and connection. Finally, deal with symptoms. So recovery doesn't ignore the reality of symptoms. Instead, it focuses on equipping individuals with the tools and strategies to manage them effectively. This might include therapy, medication, peer support, or lifestyle changes, all tailored to what the person needs. The recovery model shifts the focus from what's wrong with someone to what's strong within them, helping individuals build resilience and achieving their goals. When working within the recovery-oriented framework, we align our approach to support the unique needs, rights, and aspirations of the individual. Now, let's break that down to key principles of this framework and their corresponding implications. So, firstly, the rights-based service. So, this framework emphasizes that individuals are the experts in their own lives. Our role is to respect their autonomy, uphold their rights, and ensure that they have access to services that support the recovery on their own terms. The other framework is recovery is a range of outcomes. So recovery is not a one-size-fits-all process. For some, recovery may mean managing symptoms and maintaining stability, while for others, it might mean returning to work, building on relationships, or achieving personal goals. It's important to recognize and support these diverse definitions of success. Next is individual journeys. So each person's recovery journey is unique to them. By treating individuals as unique beings with their own goals, we can then ensure that our support is personalized and empowering. This approach builds trust and fosters self-determination. Finally, empowerment. At the heart of recovery-oriented practice is empowerment. This means helping individuals take responsibility of their recovery, make their own decisions, and feel confident in their ability to create positive change in their own lives. Empowerment enables individuals to regain control and hope for the future. By integrating these principles into our practice, we can then create an environment that supports a meaningful recovery and promotes also promoting resilience in the same time. Let's further to the last slide. Let's talk about a few more other principles that involve working in recovery-oriented framework. So let's talk about collaboration. Now, when it comes to collaboration, one word that comes to mind is partnership. So recovery is a partnership. Your role as a professional should be guided by the person's choice and goals. This means you have to actively listen to their needs, you have to encourage shared decision making, and you have to work together to develop strategies and plans that reflect the client's needs and goals. Collaboration ensures that individuals can be heard and respected in the process of recovery. Next is being a role model. So, as a professional, your behavior can have a significant impact on the people that you support. You have to be able to model respect, patience, flexibility, and resilience. These will set a positive example and also build trust between yourself and the client. By demonstrating these qualities, you encourage individuals to adopt similar approaches in their own recovery journey. Finally, the ups and downs. So recovery is rarely a straight path. It comes with challenges and setbacks. Being flexible in your approach and providing consistent support during both the highs and lows is very important. This adaptability helps individuals feel supported and also understood during the process. Even during difficult times, fostering a sense of stability and hope is very important. These principles reinforce the importance of maintaining a person-centered approach, ensuring that the support providing is empowering, also respectful, and responsive to each person's unique journey. The Recovery Alliance relationship is a cornerstone of recovery-oriented practice. It represents the partnership between the professional and the individual, built on trust, mutual respect, and the shared goals. Let's break it down into the key components. So, as you can see on the screen, the first one is recognize support needs. A strong recovery alliance starts with understanding and recognizing the unique support needs of the individual. This includes you actively listening to their concerns, identifying their strengths, the areas that they are strong in, and tailoring support to align with their recovery goal. Next, facilitating capacity building. Empowering individuals will involve helping them to develop the required skills, the confidence that they are lacking, and resources needed for the recovery journey. Capacity building could include providing tools for things like decision making, offering education, and connecting individuals with the resources, community resources, it could be, that support independence and growth. Finally, modeling respect. So demonstrating respect in all interactions is very important. It is fundamental to building trust. These include being or showing empathy, honoring their values and choices, maintaining a non-judgmental attitude towards the client as well. By modeling respect, we encourage individuals to respect themselves and other people, reinforcing positive relationships. This alliance is about walking alongside individuals on their journey, providing the support and guidance that they will need or they require, while empowering them to take ownership of the process, the recovery process. One of the key tools in recovery-oriented practice is the Wellness Recovery Action Plan, WRAP. This framework helps individuals take charge of the recovery journey by creating a plan that is personalized, that promotes both wellness and resilience. Now, let's discuss what this entails. So the plan, the WRAP, is a structured plan developed collaboratively with individuals to identify their personal resources, the strategies, and support systems. It includes elements like recognizing early warning signs, creating action plans for wellness, and identifying support networks. The WRAP is empowering because it is entirely person-centered. It's about the individual. It's tailored to their unique recovery needs and their goals. Over the coming weeks, or over this session and next week's session, we'll break down each section of WRAP. We'll continue to speak about a bit more in this session as well. This step-by-step approach will give us the opportunity to delve deeper into components such as wellness tools, triggers and coping strategies, and crisis planning. Additionally, there will be videos also as part of this unit that will be insightful insights from participants who have successfully completed a WRAP. These real-life experiences provide valuable perspectives and inspirations for using this tool effectively. This is one of them videos that I highly recommend you to watch. Again, it's about the Wellness Recovery Action Plan, WRAP. Okay, so this unit is covered within 2 weeks, but it's divided into 4 sessions. So we just covered session 1. I'm just about to cover session 2 now. So session 2 will focus on these key elements, which are involved in planning and documenting recovery-oriented care. So the first area is the collaborative planning process. So this is about planning for recovery and knowing the importance that planning for recovery is a shared effort. I'll discuss the importance of working collaboratively with individuals to ensure their voices is central to the planning process. This includes identifying the goals, resources, and support systems that align with their recovery journey. The other area we'll be covering is facilitating planning. So we'll explore practical strategies for facilitating planning sessions effectively. This includes guiding individuals through identifying their strengths, recognizing barriers, and setting achievable steps to support their recovery. Organizational requirements. So finally, we'll examine the policies, documentation standards that guide our planning process. Meeting these requirements ensure consistency, accountability, and alignment with best practice in recovery-oriented care. Working collaboratively now. So collaboration, I would say, is at the heart of a recovery-oriented practice. It ensures that care is person-centered, inclusive, and effective. Now, let's break that down to key aspects of working collaboratively, as you can see on your screen. So the first one there is considering all the stakeholders. So collaboration isn't limited to the individual. It involves engaging with all relevant stakeholders, such as family members, carers, and other professionals to ensure a holistic approach to care. By involving everyone who plays a role in the individual's life, we are then able to create a support system that will foster recovery and also growth. Next is expert in their own life. We've been speaking about this throughout this session. The individual is the expert in their own life. They have unique insight into their strengths, their challenges, and aspirations. Our role is to listen, active listening, validate their experience, empower them to take active role in their recovery journey. This ensures that the plans are meaningful and aligned with their personal goals. Finally, individual supports. Recovery is not a one-size-fits-all process. It's about tailoring support to meet the unique needs of each person. This could involve addressing specific challenges, identifying resources, or providing guidance that align with the preferences and also the circumstances as well. Now, by embracing collaboration, we will then ensure that care is not only effective but also empowering and also respectful of the individual's individuality, their autonomy. Access and equity are critical principles in recovery-oriented mental health services. They ensure that individuals receive the fair and inclusive support um, tailored to their needs. Now, let's break this down into three key aspects. The first one is supporting. So supporting access means providing services that are available, affordable, and culturally sensitive. This involves recognizing and addressing barriers that individuals may face, such as language, socioeconomic challenges, geographical location, or to ensure they can access the care they need. Equity or means treating everyone fairly. So while acknowledging their unique circumstances, it's about ensuring that all individuals have equal opportunity to receive the best quality care, regardless of their background, identity, or the challenges that they may be facing. Fair treatment is rooted in respect, dignity, and non-discrimination. The last part there is create a consumer-oriented culture. A consumer-oriented culture focuses on putting individuals at the center of the service delivery, making them the focus. This involves actively involving them in decisions about their own care, listening to their feedback, and ensuring that the services are responsive to their preferences and their needs. Now, this approach not only enhances access, but also fosters trust and empowerment. Citizenship is a fundamental concept in recovery-oriented mental health care. It emphasizes the rights and roles of individuals within the community. Let's explore the three core aspects on the screen. So the first one there is fundamental rights. Every individual is entitled to fundamental human rights, including access to healthcare, housing, education, and employment. In this context of mental health, this means advocating for equal opportunity and ensuring that the individuals are not denied these rights due to stigma or discrimination. Social justice. So citizenship also involves promoting social justice. This means addressing systematic inequalities and ensuring that individuals, especially those living with mental health challenges, are treated fairly and in an equitable manner. Advocacy and support services play a crucial role in dismantling barriers and creating a just society. Now, social inclusion is about fostering a sense of belonging and also participation. It involves creating opportunities for individuals to engage in their communities, build meaningful relationships, and contribute to society. Social inclusion reduces isolation and promotes well-being by ensuring everyone feels valued and also connected. By focusing on citizenship, we empower individuals to reclaim their roles within the community they live in and support them in fulfilling and having meaningful lives. Confidentiality and disclosure are critical aspects of recovery-oriented mental health care. They balance the individual's rights to privacy and the need to act in their best interest and comply with legal requirements. Now, let's break that down to the key elements represented here on the screen. Confidentiality is a fundamental component to building trust. It involves protecting an individual's personal information, only sharing it when there is within their explicit consent or when legally required, like mandatory reporting. Maintaining confidentiality ensures individuals feel safe and respected in their care. Consent. This is essential when sharing information. This means clearly explaining why the information is being collected, how it will be used, and how and who and to which organizations or stakeholders it will be shared to. Consent must be informed, voluntary, and given by someone who with the capacity to understand and agree with the terms. Now, in certain situations, confidentiality must be breached to comply with mandatory reporting laws. This includes cases where an individual is at risk of harm to themselves or other people when there is a legal obligation to report abuse or neglect. Professionals must handle these situations sensitively and transparently. Now, any decisions about sharing information should consider the best interest of the individual. This includes protecting their safety, ensuring access to appropriate support, and respecting their rights and autonomy as much as possible. The overlap of these elements highlight the complex nature of managing confidentiality while ensuring the legal and ethical responsibilities are met. Effective communication and clear documentation are very important parts of navigating these situations. Mandatory reporting, as we have been speaking about, and as you guys will be aware, is a legal and ethical obligation that ensures the safety and well-being of vulnerable individuals, particularly children, young people, and others at risk of harm. Now, what is mandatory reporting? This requires professionals to report specific serious concerns to the relevant authorities when they have reasonable grounds to believe that an individual is experiencing or is at risk of abuse, neglect, or harm. This duty often applies to health professionals, educators, social workers, and others in positions of power or positions of trust. Mandatory reporting aims to protect those who cannot protect themselves. By reporting concerns promptly, professionals help prevent harm, ensure timely intervention, and connect individuals with the support that they require. Something that you need to consider is the timeliness, confidentiality, and also the documentation when it comes to mandatory reporting. Your role is that you understand the importance of the laws and guidelines surrounding mandatory reporting in your area of work, as these can vary, and also the laws and guidelines in your particular state or territory. You need to familiarize yourself with your organization policy and procedures also to ensure that you are compliant and effective and you are effectively reporting practice that you effectively aligned to the reporting practices. Mandatory reporting is not just about judgment. Actually, it's not about judgment. It's about ensuring that vulnerable individuals are protected and supported. Informed consent is a cornerstone of ethical practice in mental health care. This ensures that individuals are fully aware of the nature, the benefits, the risks and implications of any proposed intervention or support before they agree to proceed. This demonstration illustrates on the screen how to effectively obtain consent. Let's break it down to the key elements. Now, you got to have clear communication. You've got to clearly explain to them the purpose of the session, the interventions that will be undertaken in a clear, simple manner. Voluntary agreement. The consent must be given by the client. It has to be given voluntarily. They can't be pressured or coerced into making decisions. You can't lead them to agree with the terms and conditions. They got to make the decision for themselves. Capacity to understand. It is very important to assess whether the individual has the capacity to understand the information that you are providing them, and are they able to make informed decisions. It is necessary, if if necessary, adapt the explanation or if involve a trusted third party to support the understanding, like an interpreter. It's important that you provide time for individuals to ask questions. It helps ensure that they feel confident and clear about the decision made. Encouraging open communication builds trust and reinforces the collaborative nature of the relationship. One of, let's talk about RAP again. So, one of the most effective tools for supporting individuals in their recovery journey is the Wellness Recovery Action Plan, like we've discussed. This approach not only empowers individuals to take control of their recovery, but also provides a structured framework for achieving wellness. Now, I've already covered about what RAP is all about. Um, this is episode 2 of the first video. Please, guys, if you've got time, watch all these episodes. There's 4 episodes that talk about RAP. It breaks it down into um, sections. So this episode is about it continues to talk about the self-designed prevention and wellness process that anyone can use to get well, stay well, and make their life the way they want it to be. Again, this was developed in 1997. So I highly recommend you guys watch this. It'll give you a better understanding on why it's used extensively by people in all kinds of circumstances and by people by institutions like healthcare, mental health systems all over the world to address all kinds of physical, mental health, and life issues. RAP has been studied extensively in rigorous research projects and is listed in the National Registry of Evidence-Based Programs and Practices as well. So again, I highly recommend you look into this a little bit more and also watch the episodes. Where you will find the links to the episodes through this PowerPoint presentation. And also it will be sent out to you in an email by the end of the week. All right. So just to recap of today's session, I began by introducing the concept of recovery-oriented mental health services, emphasizing hope, empowerment, person-centered approach as the foundation of care. We outlined the focus areas, including the collaborative planning process, facilitating planning effectively, and adhering to organizational requirements for documenting recovery plans. We spoke about working in a respectful way. We examined legal and ethical considerations. We discussed the components of mental health illness, including psychological, conditions, diagnosis, and the use of assessment tools. We explore factors that influence mental health, such as feelings, self-worth, and perceptions of others. We looked at the historical understanding of mental illness, the current and emerging trends, models of practice, the recovery model. We looked at working in recovery-oriented framework, the recovery alliance relationship, developing and documenting plans. We highlighted the importance of working collaboratively. We looked at the importance of clients able to access resources and also the equity of that as well. We looked at the importance of the principles of citizenship, and also covered confidentiality and disclosure of information, mandatory reporting and why it's so important in our role, informed consent and the demonstration of it, and also we touched on developing and documenting plans of RAP. So this was session 1. We covered session 1 and 2 during this recorded session. Next week, we'll cover session 3 and 4. During our live sessions, we'll cover a bit more of this content about this topic and also touch on assessments that are part of this unit. If you've got any questions, please email me or contact SLO for more support. I hope you guys all enjoyed today's session, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.